So Tyreek Hill was pulled over before the game on Sunday, and he was detained by police, put in handcuffs after a bunch of stuff went on. And initially, no one really knew what happened. They were taking the word of people who made assumptions and said, and Tyreek Hill kind of was saying he didn't know what happened. He was still like, let's just go to what he said prior to the body cam footage that's been released. There's about 100 hours of body cam footage, but everyone's focusing on the 3 minutes and a half that kind of shows the beginning of the interaction. But before the game, so now remember, after the game, if you watched the Dolphin game yesterday, and if you watched SportsCenter or any of the pregame, Tyreek Hill did not want to address this with the reporter, the female reporter that was interviewing him on the field. But then in the press conference, post-game, he did talk about it briefly. He kind of went into it. And what he said was, I'm trying to find this video because it's there. Just got to find it. He pretty much said that he was still in shock. He didn't know what was going on. He didn't know why he got pulled out of the car and handcuffed. And stuff like that. Now, let's he speaks on his arrest. Now, this is I believe this is post game. So let's pull this up.
Obviously, you know, everybody has bad apples in every situation, you know, so I want to be able to, you know, use this platform, you know, to figure out a way to like flip this and, you know, make it a positive on both ends, on my end and then also Miami-Dade, you know, so that way we can team together and, you know, do something positive for the community, because that's what it's all about, bro. Like, you guys are here to like protect us as individuals, and you know, I have a platform and I want to be able to team up with you guys. So that's all I got to say. So.
All right, so that was I think that was the end of the video when this is not the audio I was looking for. This is the problem with the internet. People are cutting and slicing and dicing these videos. He was talking about how he wanted to be a cop and all this other jumbo bullshit. But before that, he said, okay, I think this is it right here. When he was talking about what if he wasn't Tyreek Hill. Now, this is before. Let's play this.
Right now, you know, so I've been trying to figure that out too. Man. Right now, I'm still trying to put it all together. So I'm not gonna give you a version that I still don't know what happened. You know?
So he says he still doesn't know what happened, right? Now, this is after the game. In the post game, he's talking to the reporters in the press room, and he doesn't want to give his side of the story. Now, this is before the footage has now been released. So he's like, "Oh, I don't know what happened," but remember, during the field, he played like he got handcuffed. He was pretty much doing a reenactment when he caught his touchdown pass. So does he not know what happened, or did he didn't want to talk about it, or he didn't want to give his side of the story because he knew the footage would come out and probably dispute what he would have said?
I'm saying, but I do want to be able to use this platform to say, like, what if I wasn't Tyreek Hill, bro? Like,
what if he wasn't Tyreek Hill? He says. Well, if he wasn't Tyreek Hill, you probably would be in jail because of many other things you've done and gotten away with. One, and two, in this situation, when you decided you didn't have to follow the rules because you are Tyreek Hill, you would have got treated differently if you was the guy on his way to his warehouse job or on his way to his Walmart job and decided, oh, I'm not going to listen to the cops. I don't have to. So.
Worst case scenario, because it's crazy. Like, I want to be a cop one day. I got to stay.
He wants to be a cop one day. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, buddy.
State trooper had all that, so I got a lot of respect for cops, man. But
he has a lot of respect for cops, he says. But he has so much respect that he did not want to cooperate when the police pulled him over for speeding at 100 miles per hour where he could have killed someone. But he has so much respect for cops, and he wants to be a cop one day. I don't know, man. I don't think that's I don't know how does that gonna work when you can't even follow a simple pullover when that bothers you. So you don't have patience to deal with that, but you say you're gonna be a cop. Could you imagine this guy being a police officer? He has no patience. Even as he breaks the law or a violation or infraction, whatever you want to call it, 10 minutes, he would have got a ticket and he would have been on his way. Or maybe even a warning. Probably would have got a ticket. But he has respect for cops. Because he has a trooper hat at home. So that means he has respect for police.
Obviously, everybody has bad apples in every situation.
Everybody has bad apples. You're right. Including the NFL, which has a lot of bad apples. How many breaks has this guy gotten in his NFL career? Oh, because he can catch a football, he can run fast. He's able to get break after break after break. We're talking about bad apples. He's rotten.
Situation, so I want to be able to, use this platform, to figure out a way to like flip this and make it a positive on both ends, on my end and then also Miami-Dade, so that way we can team together and
He wants to make it a positive and team together. Well, you being a dick when you got pulled over and not cooperating, how are you going to turn that into a positive? Telling kids, hey, if you get pulled over for speeding at 100 miles per hour, you don't have to cooperate with law enforcement because after you get detained and put in cuffs and you complain about it, you get to turn it into a positive. Like this is some kind of game. Don't you realize that you could have murdered someone? You could have been killed. Right? Didn't an NFL player just die recently for driving, speeding, and I don't know if it was recently or maybe that guy was drunk. I don't remember. But there was a guy from the Raiders that just died from a car crash. I'm not saying Tyreek was under drugs or drunk. I'm not saying that. But speeding is not a game. Even though, yes, it's a minor infraction under the law, but it has serious, serious consequences if you get into an accident. This is not a game to be like, oh, yeah, we'll turn it into a positive for us and Miami-Dade, and I want to be a cop, and I have respect for the troopers because I have a hat at home. Come on. Like, what are we talking about here? This is not a game. This is not the football. Like, it doesn't seem like he's really has taken any kind of responsibility for what transpired as he was headed to the arena.
Do something positive for the community because that's what it's all about, bro.
Do something positive for the community by not speeding over 100 miles per hour in the community. That would be a good start because you could have killed somebody in the community by that.
Like, you guys are here to like protect us as individuals, and I have a platform, and I want to be able to team up with you guys. So that's all I gotta say. Right now, so I've been trying to figure that out too.
Wait a minute.
I've been trying to figure that out too, man. Right now.
All right. So that was what he said on Sunday. Now, since then, the body cam footage got released, and now during this situation, now there's all kind of things coming out where he's like, "Oh, I had an injury, and that's the reason why I was moving slow. I didn't get out the car fast enough," and all this stuff like that. But, he did run for an 80-yard touchdown pass in an NFL game against top defenders an hour or 2 hours later. But apparently he was fast enough to do that, but not quick enough to obey the commands of the troopers. But anyway, so there's different clips going around of what happened. Different clips have been surfacing, and there's a bunch of them going around. A lot of different reactions of all these people are reacting to this. But one in particular, let's watch this real quick. This is a 3.5 minute clip from this guy from the NFL. Let's watch
Why don't you have your seatbelt on? Why don't you have your seatbelt on?
So here, he says, let's go back. Let's peel it back just a little bit. So the video starts here. The trooper on the motorcycle goes up to him. Now I guess this is the initial interaction, like after the pullover. He knocks on the window. Now, he didn't knock hard. Look, watch. There was a tap, right? Not like he was banging on it. He made it seem like the guy was like harassing him or some shit. He's being pulled over. Usually when you get pulled over, you roll your window down, put your hands on the steering wheel, stuff like that. And the windows are tinted, so the cop can't even see him.
Why don't you have your seatbelt on?
Don't knock on my window like that. So right off the bat, Tyreek Hill is already combative to the police officer. Right off the bat. You got pulled over. What do you mean, don't knock on my window like that? You got pulled over, your window was down. How's the officer going to get your attention? Right? So automatically right there, it doesn't look good. This is the beginning. Right? It doesn't look good right here. 11 seconds in, Tyreek Hill's already in the wrong. He's already escalating. All right, let's go.
You have your seatbelt on.
He said, "Why you don't have your seatbelt on?" And Tyreek still goes on, "Don't knock on my window." How many times you got to tell him that? I mean, okay, you don't like him knocking on your window. But Tyreek Hill already has an attitude. Now, you can say, well, of course he has an attitude. He got pulled over. Everybody that gets pulled over has an attitude. Okay, fine. We can concede that. But we got all that out the way. Proceed with the stop. He hands him his ID, right? But Tyreek seems to be agitating a confrontation. This is what it looks like right here.
Like what? Why you have it up?
He's still saying the same thing. He's not answering the questions of the police officer. He's just talking about his window. It was a slight tap. It wasn't like the guy did a major bang. Okay, you didn't like the guy knocking on your window. Take note of it. So now this cop recognized who it was. He says it's Tyreek Hill. So now they understand, okay, this is a Miami Dolphin player. So now let's see what happens. So now they yapping back and forth. Now I don't know what happened. Maybe there's another camera angle from the other cop that we had to see. But right here, there's back and forth chirping. I'm thinking at this point the officer might be a bit annoyed now because he's like, oh, this guy's talking shit to me. And now Tyreek is like dismissing him, like, oh, whatever, dude, and then rolls up the window. Now, is this a normal interaction between a person and a police officer when they get pulled over for speeding? I don't know. Would I do that if I got pulled over for speeding? Probably not. But some people, that's how they react. I don't know. Is this enough to get assaulted by police? No. But you could see that the escalation is starting to come. And I would bet that officer who made initial contact with Hill is probably annoyed at this point, especially the way he was just acting, saying all type of stuff, then rolls the window back up. Tinted windows, mind you. This is a traffic stop. Rolls the window back up, completely dismisses him like he's nothing, like a peasant. Like, oh, yeah, whatever, dude. Just go do what you got to do. I'm driving this nice car. I'm an NFL player. I'm entitled. You're nothing. Just go do your job and send me on my way. Like he's not worried. Could a regular person be able to just roll their window back up, a tinted window, and completely dismiss the law enforcement? No. So when Tyreek says, what if I wasn't Tyreek Hill? Well, if you wasn't Tyreek Hill, you wouldn't have been able to do none of the stuff you just did. So let's be clear on that. Let's see the rest of this. Hey. So now the cop is like, he rolled the window up, so now the cop is banging on the window again. They need to see you. You can't just go hide off. Oh, yeah, I'll go back. Because they don't know what's in the car. They don't know what's going on. He has no idea what's happening here. They need to be able to see him. They need to have eyes on him. Right? That's my understanding of the situation. Cop is annoyed, banging on the window again. And Tyreek Hill had to know that the cop was going to do this again after Tyreek Hill already expressed that he didn't want the cop banging on his window. So this is Tyreek Hill now egging the cop on by doing this. I don't care what anybody say. You can sit here and say I'm making this up. I'm making assumptions. Is it assumption? Yes, probably. But based on what happened in the first 10, 15 seconds, there's no way that move that Tyreek just did wasn't an escalation to agitate the police even more. This is common sense. Like, if you didn't want the cop banging on your window, you roll the window back up, knowing that the cop probably going to bang on the window. And that's exactly what happened.
Keep your window down.
He said, keep the window down, and Tyreek is yelling at him. Keep the window down. He says it. Tyreek doesn't listen. See, this is still 35 seconds into the video. This is very important. This is all the part that everyone is ignoring because they want to get to the juicy part. Oh my God, he was cuffed and over a minor traffic stop. Well, Tyreek Hill is the one that has escalated this minor traffic stop by the way he's acting when he gets pulled over. This is not how you act when you get pulled over. I don't care if you're annoyed by being pulled over, if you're upset, if you think you got pulled over for no reason. This is not how you act. What do you think is going to happen if you act this way when you get pulled over? What do you think is going to happen?
Annie.
Look.
Hey.
He has to bang on the car again. How many times? So let me get this straight for all those people out there that are like saying, oh, well, this is uncalled for. So what are the cops supposed to do here? Like, what do you do if you're a police officer and you get this amount of uncooperation? Do you just say, all right, whatever, I'll just wait for them to decide when to listen to my commands? Like, at some point, you have to enforce some kind of authority, right? I mean, you are the one with the badge and the gun here. You know? When do you determine when to, look, I don't know. I'm not a cop, so I'm just saying that how far do you allow your authority to be undermined by an individual who's like, oh, I'm just not going to listen to anything you say. I don't care. You're pretty much, you mean nothing to me. This is what's going on. This is a guy a professional athlete, a celebrity who's completely dismissing law enforcement because he believes he doesn't have to listen to them. Right? Not Joe Smith or John Doe, the truck driver who's just on his way to work and he's like, I don't have to listen to the cops. No. This is a previous athlete driving an expensive car. Doesn't want to follow the instructions, simple instructions. I mean, very simple. I mean, traffic stops are really not that difficult to follow. You know, it's broad daylight. It's not nighttime. It's broad daylight. There's many cars going by. Nothing's going to happen to you if you in your car. You gave your ID. All you have to do is keep the window down. He's going to go run you, check your name, whatever they do. And I guarantee he would have been on his way. This went on way. There's no reason for this. 42 seconds in, and Tyreek Hill is completely in the wrong here, 100%, not even close. He is the reason why this thing escalated.
Keep your window down. Keep your window.
Don't tell me what to do, he says. The cop is just saying, keep your window down. Look, I don't know Florida laws. I don't know if in Florida you're allowed to have your window up and tinted windows where the cop can't see you while the cop is trying to conduct police business. I don't know the laws of Florida. Maybe someone can correct me with that in the comments and provide more detail on that. But I'm just assuming that common sense on a traffic stop would be just a simple cooperation, right? Tyreek Hill's being a dick all the way right now. Completely being a dick. Like if I was to give a class on what to not do when you get pulled over by the cops, this would be Exhibit A on what not to do in the first 45 seconds of this clip. Now, I know there's a lot of other clips out there that things happen after the fact, but you cannot, if you're going to talk about what happened in the escalation and how he ended up in cuffs and on the ground and a little extra here and there, you cannot dismiss the beginning of this video. This type of behavior leads to the other behaviors. And it's obviously not an excuse. Excessive force is not an excuse for the officers if that's what happened. I'm gonna watch it through and see, right? Because I haven't watched this video. I'm watching it right now. But there's a lot of claims of excessive force and extra abuse. If all that happened at this point, there's still no reason to do that. So I'm still acknowledging that. But we cannot ignore that this behavior leading up to it is unacceptable. This is not something that an adult should be doing. And a professional athlete, an adult male, especially an adult black male, that understands how these situations can go wrong, he should know better. He should understand. Why be combative? For what? For what? What's the reason?
Window down, I'm gonna get you out of the car.
Keep the window down or I'm gonna get you out of the car. This is all Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, this is all him right here. You cannot tell me that this is not Tyreek Hill's fault. The officer told him, keep the window down or I'm going to get you out of the car. So now he's telling him, I'm going to get you out of the car. So he already told him, I'm taking you out the car. Because obviously you're in the car, you get the tinted windows, you're keeping the window rolled up, don't know what you're doing. You're interfering with, he still hasn't even been able to conduct the business of the traffic stop because he can't get initial cooperation from Tyreek Hill. This is all going on right here. And somehow no one's acknowledging this. I'm looking all up and down the timeline. Everyone's talking about, oh man, you know, the cops, they should go to jail and be fired, and it's messed up what happened. Like a Tyreek Hill is some kind of victim. He's not a victim, at least not right at this moment. Let's play more.
As a matter of fact, get out of the car.
So the cop is annoyed, as any normal human being, whether it be a police officer or anybody, he's annoyed. He's like, shit, get out the car. Right? This is all typical of what would happen in any situation. Right? His patience is gone. Right? At this point.
Give me your ass, get out of the car. Give me your ass, we'll break that freaking window. Get out.
So now this guy comes over. Now, this guy here comes over because he's annoyed too. So now you done pissed off two cops and the third one with the body cam. They're annoyed now because traffic is going and people are driving. I mean, it's hot out. I guarantee you now they're probably annoyed because this thing would have been over in like 10 minutes. And that's probably why they're really annoyed. They're like, dude, this shit would have been done. You would have been back to the state, head on your way, but you had to act like a jackass. That's probably why they're annoyed. Like, I don't know. Like, look, I'm assuming they're annoyed because this guy just wanted to be a dick. For no reason. Almost a minute into the video, guys. 51 seconds.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car right now. We're not playing this game. Get out. 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 What part of that don't you understand?
So now they tell him to get out. Get out. And now they're yanking him out the car because he didn't move fast enough. Now, there's an explanation for why he didn't move fast enough. According to Tyreek Hill, later on, he explains how something about an injury. We're going to play the CNN interview in a little bit. But the cops were annoyed. He didn't get out the car. I guess Tyreek was calling somebody. As you see, his phone look like it's recording or whatever. So now he starts to record the interaction. Now, this is where things start to pick up. And the cops yank him out the car. He's not cooperating. They don't know. I mean, I don't know. Here, it just got crazy. It just started to. But remember, when the video I played before this, when he says, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I still don't know what happened. You know exactly what happened. That's why he didn't say what happened, because he would have to acknowledge what he did prior to him being yanked out the car. So he was misleading the public to stir up sympathy as some kind of brutality or a black man attacked by cops, and got all these people to jump on his bandwagon and defend him. He had like a 24-hour head start to build up this sympathy. So by the time the video got released, and Miami-Dade had to release this video quicker than they probably wanted to without doing a full investigation because of the backlash that happened from Tyreek Hill. But Tyreek Hill kind of, putting it out there that he was just like attacked for no reason. I don't know what happened. I'm still trying to process. No, you know what happened, dude. You know exactly what you were doing. You were egging the police on. The video shows that right here. You escalated this, and the police responded. Now, at this point, I won't say that this is excessive, not yet, right? From what I'm seeing. Now, the people have said there's excessive force going on. Right now, they take him out the car. They put him on the ground. Let's see what they do next.
Hey, Drew, I'm getting arrested, Drew.
So now he was on the phone with Drew, so I guess that was Drew Rosenhaus's agent. So he called his agent. He says he's being arrested. Now they're trying to detain him because once they take you out the car, they're going to put handcuffs on you. They're going to detain you. So is he allowing them to detain him? Let's see.
I'm getting arrested. I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting up, bro. God damn, twin.
I'm getting up. But he didn't get up. They put him on the ground. He's being detained.
When we tell you to do something, you do it. You understand?
See, now the cops say, when we tell you to do something, you do it. So now they're trying to reinforce their authority, which is pretty typical, pretty normal in this situation.
I'm getting up. You understand? Not when you want, but when we tell you.
Not when you want is when we tell you. Right now, I don't see anything wrong with this at this point. I'm not seeing any issues yet.
You're fucking confused. I'm getting out, bro. Too late.
Now they're saying too late. You're getting cuffed. Because it's not a game. Look what's going on. Look at the cars going by. I mean, all these people have to show up, extra troopers, because they don't know what's happening. You got to understand. Look, I get it. People hate the cops. People hate law enforcement. People think the cops abuse their authority. And that's all true in many cases. But you also kind of got to put yourself on the other side of this. Like, what do you think is going on here? Like, no, this is not a time to play around. Like, okay, I'll do it. No, I don't want to do it. Like, it's not a game, right? Tyreek Hill was acting like a teenager. And then when they yanked him out the car, when he felt like, okay, this shit is happening, because maybe he thought they wouldn't touch him because he's Tyreek Hill. I don't know what he thought. They're like, dude, get the fuck out the car. They yank him out the car. And he's like, okay, I'll get up now. And they're like, too late. You do, when we tell you to do something, you do it. All right?
All right, bro, take me to jail, bro. Do what you got to do, bro.
Take me to jail, do what you got to do. So Tyreek Hill is still yapping off now. So this thing is not, I mean, at this point, it seems like Tyreek Hill, he asked for this, man. I'm sorry.
We will. Good, bro. It is good. Hey, Drew, hey. Don't worry about it. I hung up the phone. Can you stop crying? Bro.
He said, stop crying.
Y'all. Don't move. Good. Bro, you beating on my window like you crazy.
Just set him up.
Why y'all beating on my window like y'all crazy for? Damn, yo, bro.
So they help him up, right? I heard that they were saying that. Now people are coming by. You got Dolphin fans. I guess they headed to the game, tailgating, whatever. And a couple of Dolphin fans looking on. They probably didn't even realize who it was.
Bro.
They don't even know who it is. I don't mean to laugh. They're like, okay, this is just a random black guy. I don't even think they realized that it was Tyreek Hill.
Bro, dude beating on my window like he crazy.
He wasn't beating on your window like he was crazy. That's a lie. We saw the video. He tapped on your window. You went off on him. Then he rolled up your window. He tapped again to get your attention. He wasn't beating on your window like he was crazy.
I ain't do nothing, twin.
I didn't do nothing, twin. I don't know if that's some kind of Miami language or whatever. Or maybe that's his brother. Who knows? But that can't be good if someone else showed up to the scene.
Hey, don't park there. Don't park there.
Hey.
Oh, I think this is the part where the Miami Dolphin another player showed up. The other guy, Campbell, I think his name is. I think at that point he shows up. And the cop said, don't park there. So as you can hear, the cop tells him, don't park there. So that might be, that's going to be interesting to go back to in a few minutes, because that might explain why the other guy might have gotten detained. But watch. So this guy here, I believe this is the other Miami Dolphins player, the one that I guess, came and ended up getting arrested too or detained.
There.
So he told him, don't park there. Let's make sure we hear that again.
Hey, don't park there.
Hey, don't park there. So he kind of told him, don't park there.
Don't park there.
Hey. Hold on, twin. Hold on.
So he said, hold on, twin. Yeah, I think that's some Miami lingo or something like that. So he's telling him to sit down. Tyreek is not really cooperating again. He's kind of being disruptive.
Hold on, bro. I just had surgery on my knee. I just had surgery.
So now as I had surgery on my knee, I've heard that line before. But I'm not going to go back to that. But anyway, all right, so the other cop, he's like, okay, I want some action too now. So now this is the part where, you know, this is a bit excessive. This third guy here, like, he comes out of nowhere. Like, that was a bit, he was thirsty. Like, this guy here, he was like, okay. I think he had him. He was, you know, he was talking to him.
Oh, bro.
And then he comes out of nowhere. So this is the part about 207. This cop is a bit excessive. Right? But at this point, like I said, all these guys are pissed off. They're annoyed. This guy's giving them trouble. All this over a traffic stop that might have lasted 10 minutes. And they're annoyed with this guy. So this cop comes over.
I just had surgery on my...
He takes him down. And that's not a choke. Some people say he was choked out. This is not a choke. He was just, he did a move.
I just had...
to put him down. And he said, I just had surgery on my knee. I mean, he did run. I mean, if your knee would have got hurt, it would have been when they yanked you out the car. This is not really anything bad here. This is him crying again.
Surgery on my knee, bro. I just had surgery on my knee, bro. I just had surgery in your ears when we go there.
Yeah, surgery in your ears. That's funny. See, this is good.
Chill, bro. Chill, bro. Hey, Joe New, bro. Back up. Hey, come.
Okay, so now another guy gets out the car. Now, think about this for a second. At this point, they don't know who this guy is. He's the one that, I guess he pulled over. He was talking to Tyreek for a second, and Tyreek something about twin or whatever. The cops don't know who this guy is. They don't know who's showing up here. Now, and this is a bad thing to do. You never do this. I would not advise this, you know, in my opinion. I would not advise rolling up on law enforcement in the middle of a situation like this. You know, I get it. Look, after the George Floyd thing, when the guy was on the ground and the knee and people ran up, I get why people would think that it's their duty or their you know, they have to come up on the scene. But you really don't want to do that in any scenario. You don't want to roll up on police like that because they don't know what you're doing. So they're gonna respond like you're hostile. I wouldn't advise it, in my opinion. I just wouldn't do it. You got to kind of be smart about that. You know, you can kind of record, get your camera phone out if you have to, monitor the situation. More likely, the cops are not going to do anything crazy if they got eyeballs on them. Plus, they wearing body cams, which I know that doesn't mean much because they can always erase those. But if you pull your camera out and record, it's safe to say that nothing extra is going to happen unless the person escalates. So here they telling this guy, whoever this person is, back up, don't come close.
Call truth.
Another guy shows up on the other side. So you got to understand where the police is coming from here, right? You got a guy back there. You got another guy on the other side rolling up on them. The cops are now on extra edge. So the cops' level of edge has jumped, right? One, from Tyreek Hill giving them a hard time, being combative, escalating the situation. And now you got guys rolling up in the area of the detainment. This is not, you know, now you can say, oh, well, the cops say they train, they should handle this. This is real-time police stuff. Yeah, but this is not something that you should do even as a civilian. You don't just run up on a scene like this. You know, it's just not a smart play. It doesn't do any good, and you can end up in cuffs that way. Especially if the cops are already agitated. As you can see, Tyreek agitated them already. So the other guy runs off to that guy. They got to now see who this guy is. They don't know who none of these people are. You can't assume they know just because we know because they told the story after the fact. They Monday morning quarterback it. That doesn't mean the cops know.
Call Drew! Call Drew!
So he told him to stand there. Tyreek is yelling, call Drew, because he was just on the phone with Drew Rosenhaus.
Hey, call Drew! Call Drew, bro! Call.
He got his hands up. Another cop goes over there, and I guess they're going to put him in cuffs at some point.
Call Drew! Call Drew! Hey, call Drew, bro! Hey, what? Hey, call Drew, bro! Just call Drew! Hey! I'm not doing nothing. What am I doing that's wrong?
Hey, listen.
Hey, listen. Hey, man, they got Tyreek. The cops over here beating on him, man. They over here.
The cops over there beating on him. That's a lie. That's a lie. They did not beat on him. You see, now the escalation because the lies are starting to put out. So now this guy calls somebody. Who are these people, right? Honestly, at this point, I think the police did a heck of a job up to this point. Like I said, we ain't watched the rest of it. Considering all the things that are going on here, I'm surprised somebody didn't get shot. Look at all the people involved. Like, we talk about police interactions with, certain demographics in the communities, but to be honest, right now, up until this point, it's still early. It's a lot more video. I'm not going to watch all 100 hours or 100 minutes of it. But this is the reason why I'm going to focus on the beginning here, because this is the part that kicked it off. We cannot ignore the kickoff, right? We cannot ignore the kickoff. This thing didn't just start at the 40-yard line, folks. This thing started from kickoff. Okay? Now, another person getting out the car. This guy's on the phone calling somebody. I mean, look, I couldn't be a cop, man. I'm glad I'm not a police officer. And I don't even want to have sympathy for these guys, especially after the shit that they did during the COVID lockdowns. But it's hard to ignore the facts here, guys. The facts are not looking good for Tyreek Hill at this point. It's just not. I'm sorry, it's not.
Beating on Tyreek,
Listen,
man.
big man, don't.
And he said beating on Tyreek. That's a lie. So far in this video, he has not been beaten on.
Park there, man. Just get in.
And he's told him again not to park there. 'Cause remember, earlier in the video, a few seconds ago, he told him don't park there. So this is, and they've been extremely patient with these ongoers, considering the fact that this situation has already escalated. Right? I'm just saying.
Hey, Drew, you gotta come, man.
Just get in the car.
Straight up the side, on the side of the
Hey, get in the car. You're parked in the middle of the street.
You're parked in the middle of the street. He telling him because they technically are parked right there. Like, look at the way they parked. That ain't, they can get hit for that if the cops wanted to. I don't know if they do. They don't have to give them tickets or whatever. But it's a lot of shit going on here.
I'm in the car. You gotta go before you get a ticket.
Hey,
I'm
you're in the car.
Who's the driver? This is my car. All right, move. I'll take that. You gotta move right now. Let me have your license. You're gonna have a ticket too. I'm coming. Let me have.
See, now he comes up to him and says, I'm going to give you a ticket now. Now, remember, he was already warned ahead of time not to park there. So you can't say, oh, he just picked on him. They gave him numerous chances for him to move his car. Right? Numerous chances. And he did it anyway. So he's going to get hit with a ticket.
Let me have your license. I'm leaving. I'm not playing. Let me have your license. Leaving. Yo, what's your license right now?
I'm leaving while you're just standing there with the cop. The cops are annoyed, man. At this point, they've had it with this whole situation. A traffic stop turning into this so quickly. Very quickly, too.
What's going on? Your license right
What's going on? Like he's basing up like he wants to fight the cop now. Like, where do you come from? Why are you even out? Why are you here?
now. You're not gonna give me your license? Hey.
You're not gonna give me your license? He asked him like 3-4 times. Now they might try to detain him. Who knows?
You're not gonna give me your license? I'm leaving. Let me have your license. Your license right now. Sir, hey, your license right now. I'm leaving. Or I'm gonna lock you up. Your license right now.
So this cop is extra pissed. Now, at this point, can you say, now the other guy, look at the guy back, he's like, okay, we might have another recording. So at this point, is this cop a little extra? Probably. You could probably say he's going a little bit because they all are already pissed off. They have had it with this situation. They don't know what's happening. All these people just popping up. It's getting hectic. So now he is pissed. And this guy should have just gotten in his car and drove off. Right? I would say that this guy may be a little bit, maybe a little extra. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Now, he just told me to your license right now. Sir, you're dealing with me now. Sir, your license right now.
He asked for his license 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. So that's the end of that clip. That was the 3:35. I don't even know. So now this guy put the cops seem to be using excessive force. That 3:35 clip, there was no excessive force in that clip, guys. I'm sorry. Maybe there was more excessive force later on in other clips, but this is, and look at the titles of these videos. This is absolutely disgusting, demoralizing, and downright sad. There is no words to rationalize this behavior from the Miami-Dade police. What? Did we watch? This is the same video. This is the caption of the video. We just watched that video. That's your description of what you saw in this 3-minute, 35-second clip? Did we watch the same video? If anybody had disgusting behavior, it was Tyreek Hill. He was the one that escalated this. Like, what are we talking about? And this is the type of narratives that get pushed on social media and people go insane. Look, did the cops have jumpy attitudes after the fact? Yeah, that last guy might have been a bit pushy. But at that point, all bets are off. Well, I mean, what do you think was going to happen when the situation got escalated? What do you think was going to happen when people pop out of nowhere that you don't know who they are? They just show up to the scene, jump out of cars, and do all type of stuff. What do you think the cops are supposed to do? Like I said, I think considering what was going on, the cops, at least in that 3:35, I thought they handled that shit about as well as you could in that scenario, in my opinion. Like I said, I don't know Miami-Dade police training. I don't know what the protocols are. I don't know exactly what they would do at a traffic stop. I'm just saying, from me viewing that video, sitting here, I thought the way the people made it sound like was that it was just some craziness, like it was like the Wild Wild West or something. But that description that Jordan put up is completely wrong. And then he goes, here's my question. What if this wasn't Tyreek Hill? What happens then? And how many times per day in this country does this occur? What do you mean that if someone gets pulled over and they don't cooperate and they don't get out the car, if they resist or disrupt the procedure, yeah, they probably get pulled out of the car and arrested. That's what usually happens every day. Like in this scenario happens probably a bunch of times throughout the country. And guess what happens? Those people get detained and booked and sent to jail and get arrested. And many times without incident. They don't get to sit there and marinate and go through the motions and and be disruptive because they're a pro athlete and they're trying to handle the situation at a delicate pace because they know people are watching, and many people are not popping up on the scene because it's Tyreek Hill. So yeah, that's what happens. But that's the caption that he put 5 hours ago. So he knows. So let's see. Here's another. This is Robert Griffin III. He says Tyreek Hill should not have been forcibly driven to the ground, handcuffed, and handled so aggressively for a minor traffic violation headed into the stadium before the game, period. Well, not really. That's wrong. Because as you watch the video in the beginning, countless times he was giving countless commands. So what was the cop supposed to do? Just wait for him? We'll wait and decide when he feels like listening. What did he tell him? You don't tell me what to do. You don't tap on my window. Yeah, I guess Robert Griffin III missed all that. He missed all that. And it wasn't even that much. It wasn't like crazy. It was a simple takedown. Now, the part where the other guy, the other cop grabbed him on the sidewalk, that was a little bit excessive. You could say you can make that case. You can make that case. I mean, I wouldn't go either way. I mean, I wouldn't be upset. Like, you could understandably say, okay, that was a bit out of line. But the initial takedown, no, that was like, dude, they actually get out the car many times. Many times, you decided you didn't feel like doing it. They took you down. Pretty simple. And it's not over a minor traffic violation. I could also sit here and say Tyreek Hill acted like a complete jackass over a minor traffic violation. No reason for that. Nah, I guess that doesn't matter. So people are reacting to this, and look, Antonio Brown puts the cop who pulled over Tyreek Hill. I mean, this is the type of stuff you're gonna see. But the bottom line here is, folks, is that Tyreek Hill, and look, there's many other videos that are going around, but that's pretty much the main part, right? That's like the main part that everyone is focusing on. Even though there's 100 and something minutes of video, that's the one that everyone's focused on. That's like the main clips showing that they really had Tyreek Hill face down on the hot ass pavement over a minor traffic violation. They didn't have him on the ground over the minor traffic violation. He acted like a jackass over a minor traffic violation. Yeah, this cop was, look, he was a bit aggressive. He was a little too antsy. But there was no beating up. Like, they didn't beat him up. Remember the part where the guy said, they beating up Tyreek Hill? Like, no, they didn't. They did not beat him up. I mean, come on now. Like, there's cases of, like, police brutality, but this is not it, folks. This is not even close. This is some entitled athlete who just thought that he didn't have to follow any rules. He could do what he want. And the cops handled him. And they were patient, considering the fact that we could agree that if he wasn't Tyreek Hill, they probably would have stomped his ass out. Okay? Probably. Right? Probably. They would have kicked his ass. But you got to be a dick because you were Tyreek Hill. That's not a flex. That's not something to brag about. Well, what if I wasn't Tyreek Hill? I got to be a dickhead, and the most I got was a soft takedown. Like, you got tackled harder than that in NFL games, dude. Like, you got bumped off the line by a corner harder than that. You got to cry, I had surgery on my knee. And then, like, 2 hours later, you're running for 80-yard touchdowns. Like, you have more resistance at the game. Okay, like you. This is not. I'm telling you, man. This guy is so full of shit. So full of shit. All these reactions with all these people. Let's hear Tua's reaction. This is Tua Tagovailoa, the quarterback.
Tyreek Hill being detained. Unbelievable. That's crazy. Dude was speeding all day today. Speeding before the game, speeding during the game. I hope he wasn't speeding after the game, but I think that was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Especially that dude, like Tyreek in Miami. Like you know who that is, and man, my brother, just mindset that.
You know who that is, so that means they're supposed to just let him speed 100 miles per hour over the speed limit because he's Tyreek Hill. Like, this is another entitled position, another entitled athlete. Oh, this is crazy. I've never seen anything like it. What? People get pulled over, they speed. You get combative, you give police a hard time, they take it next level. That typically happens. He thought because he was Tyreek Hill, he can get away with it. But just look at it. That's what he's talking about. He's like, do you know who that is? That's Miami. He's Tyreek Hill. You got to let him do what he wants. No. This is all this is about. These people are upset because the cops did not allow him to walk all over them. Right? That's what that's what his reaction is.
That he had. Adversity that he dealt with early on before the game. And
adversity? He caused his own adversity by being a complete dick to the cops. He caused his own adversity. He caused everything that happened was because of him. 100%. 100%. How is he a victim here? I don't understand that.
Him just coming through for the team on that 80-yard touchdown run, and then the sally that he had. I mean, I thought that was super, super dope.
Oh, that's super, super dope. Oh, please. Okay, here's Drew Rosenhaus. Now, this was on the 8th, so this was like 2 days ago, a day ago. This is Drew Rosenhaus' response. Let's see what he says.
What happened?
It's a heartbreaking situation. Obviously, I love Tyreek. I hated to see him in the situation he was in with the police. He is going to play today. Number one, he's okay. Number two, he's going to play. Number three, apparently he got a ticket for moving violation entering the stadium. How things escalated into the situation that they were in handcuffs and being held on the ground with police is mind-boggling to me. I'm deeply concerned by that, very troubled. We will be looking into it. We will be investigating this. We will look out for Tyreek, but I'm not going to make any allegations at this time. The most important thing is Tyreek is okay. Physically, mentally, he was very distraught about what happened. Tyreek has told me over and over he's a big supporter of police. He was telling the police there, I want to be a police officer in the future.
Yeah, if you want to be a police officer, then that's not how you act at a traffic stop.
But this is crazy. I've never seen anything like this.
You know, now, to his credit, this is before the video got released. So now that everyone was kissing his ass and defending him and saying they didn't believe this, is whatever, can't believe he wanted to be a cop, all this other bullshit. And let's now he did a CNN interview. And now look, people are already doxing this police officer. It's just so crazy. I don't even know if that's really him or not, but it's ridiculous. Some of the people commenting, why wasn't it horrifying when Tyreek Hill was beating his pregnant girlfriend? Wow. I mean, this is the type of reaction you're going to get. People are going to have their own reaction to this. All right, so let's go to the CNN interview. Because now this is after the video's been released, a day later. Let's read the media statement from the South Florida Police Union. They said before the Dolphins game yesterday, Sunday, which was yesterday, but if you're watching this video, it's probably going to be Tuesday. An incident occurred where Tyreek Hill was placed in handcuffs before being released. First, to be clear, at no time was he ever under arrest. He was briefly detained for officer safety after driving in a manner in which he was putting himself and others in great risk of danger. Upon being stopped, Mr. Hill was not immediately cooperative with the officers on the scene, which we saw that in the video. Pursuant to policy and for the immediate safety, placed Mr. Hill in handcuffs. So this is Miami-Dade police policy, or South Florida police policy. Uncooperative at a traffic stop, you will be detained. Now, that's probably policy in many departments across the country. Not, that's something that is, seems to be pretty normal. Mr. Hill, still uncooperative, refused to sit on the ground and was therefore redirected to the ground. I guess they're talking about that's the part where that cop rushed over and yanked him down. Now, you can question if that was a bit much or not, right? Did he really have a chance to sit down? He wasn't moving quick enough, whatever. Once the situation was sorted out, within a few minutes, Mr. Hill was issued 2 traffic citations and was free to leave. So they pretty much focusing on Tyreek Hill. So like I said, a few minutes later, he was let go after getting 2 traffic citations. And that would have happened probably in 5 minutes had he not acted like a dick. We would like to stress to the community to use this as an opportunity to remember that it is always best to obey lawful police commands first and complain later. We have worked hard across all communities to bridge the gap between what people believe law enforcement should and can do, and will continue to do so. In this case, while we will wait for the investigation to run its course, based on what we know, we stand with the actions of our officers, but look forward to further open communication moving forward. While we are confident in the actions that led to the stop of Mr. Hill, as with any investigation, we will wait for all the facts to come out, along with any explanation Mr. Hill may have for his actions that initiated this unfortunate incident. Well, there is no explanation on why he initiated on being a dick, right? He was just being a dick. Other than the fact that he felt like, I'm Tyreek Hill, and I can act any way the fuck I want, as you heard in the video. I can do what I want. Don't touch my window. Don't tell me what to do. Ha ha ha. That was all him. Clear as day on video. And lucky this video came out because it kind of explains that. It kind of almost debunks all these people that are trying to make it seem like you saw the guy in the video lying on the phone. Yo, they beating up Tyreek Hill. And he's on the side of the street. They just beating him up. Like, just complete lying. Lying out of his ass. So this is a scenario where the body cam footage actually helps the police here and kind of clears up any lies that might have gotten out there. 'Cause remember, this guy's on the phone telling who God knows who. They're recording clips. They cut them up. They set their own narrative on social media. And people thinking that this guy was just being beat on. And that's how they made it seem like that Tyreek Hill was out there just getting his ass beat by police. And that's not what happened. Clearly not what happened. So that's the statement from South Florida police. Now, Tyreek Hill went on CNN. Wait, let's hear Stephen A. Because Stephen A's always got some... Stephen A's interesting.
But when he was stood up thereafter with his hands cuffed behind his back and a second officer came and forcibly sat him down, this is what we're talking about when we talk about the ease with which dehumanization kicks in when it comes to black men. Mm-hmm. Why are you doing that? Why was that necessary? He clearly was not a threat at that particular moment in time. Why would you do that? And to me, that is what the police department in Florida needs to answer for. That is the kind of questions we should be asking. Yes, a verbal altercation. Okay, all right, what did he say? Yes, we want to know that. Why'd you stop him to begin with? Okay, fine, but you know what? Anybody can come up with reasons and rationale for that. But
he said he tried to gloss over. Forget about what happened prior. Let's just focus on that one part right there. That's the main part. Like, Stephen A., come on, man. Come on, Stephen A. You cannot gloss over the whole entire the juicy parts or any of the parts. You can't just skip and pick and choose what to be outraged about. Okay? You can't pick and choose, man. This has nothing to do with black men and race and all that stuff. Tyreek Hill, he initiated that response. This was all on Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill would have been out of there in 5 minutes had he just initially cooperated and not been a dick. Just not being a dick. Forget about the cooperation like, oh, okay, right? If he just wanted to, not answer any questions or just give his ID and do the basic minimum. If he did the bare minimum, he would have been gone in 5 minutes with his tickets. Like, come on, man. This is BS. And he still got off easy considering what would have happened if it wasn't Tyreek Hill. He would have went to jail. His car would have got towed. You get what I'm saying here? He got off because he's a Miami Dolphin wide receiver, even after giving the police a hard time. That's privilege. That's privilege in a nutshell. Don't cry to me about black men and this and that. No average black man would have got out of that situation acting the way that Tyreek acted. No way. They would have been in jail, cuffed, arrested with extra charges. Car would have got towed. And he would have lost his job because he wouldn't have been able to get to work. That's what would have happened. And that would have been the bare minimum, considering if the black guy didn't escalate and try to do anything stupid. Beyond that. But you can't play that with Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill does not get to play that. You do not get to play the black man card with Tyreek Hill when he initiated that full reaction all the way, and still those cops were patient with this man, considering how much of a dick he was. I thought they exercised extreme patience. Besides a few, 1 or 2 spots where that cop came over and rushed and helped him and forced him down quickly to sit down. Like I said, you can say that's a bit of excessive, a little bit, but it ain't that far out of the excessiveness to be like, oh my God, that's brutality. It's not. It's just a little extra, He didn't sit down after repeated commands. They got tired of repeating commands, so they decided to help him sit down. But they didn't beat him up. They didn't slam him. It was a simple sit down, assist you to sit the fuck down, and that was that. There is no excessive force at all in this situation. So I'm wondering what kind of situation, what are they trying to get out of this? But Stephen A's trying to play the black man and the interaction. No. This is not one of those situations. Sorry, Stephen A. Nope. No. Not this one. It ain't racial. It ain't nothing to do with any of that shit. If anything, he got extremely treated well. Probably more well than he probably should have. I mean, not should have. I'll take that back. More well than he probably would have. Plus, with people rolling up on the scene, there was a lot of shit going on. Who knows what the hell's going on? Those people could have been coming to try to free the man. And come on now. Like, the shit got hectic.
Physicality that was implemented.
What physicality was implemented? What? What was it? It was just a basic...
Why? What was that for? Why was that necessary if the man has handcuffs behind his back? When black folks in America are talking.
I don't want to hear this shit. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to listen to that. I'm not listening to all this. Look, that's not a case, man. Of course there's police brutality. There's bad cops out there that abuse their authority. But this is not one of those cases. Now here's the situation where the other NFL player got detained. See, we missed that part. Remember, the camera went away. So let's watch this and see what happens here. This is something that people brought up.
Hey, I'm not going to tell you to leave. I'm going to give you one more time.
So he said, I'm not going to tell you again to leave. So they were already telling this guy to leave. Now, does he have to leave? I don't know what the rules are as far as like, he's not that close to the scene. He's over there. So is this guy a little extra? Is this the same extra cop, the one who put Tyreek down? Maybe. So maybe there's one cop there that might be a little bit of a, he might have been a bit of a dick himself. So let's see what's going on here.
If you don't leave, I'm going to take you shit.
He said, if you don't leave, I'm going to what? I didn't hear that part. Wait, he said something, if you don't leave, what?
I'm going to give you one more time. If you don't leave, I'm going to take you shit.
If you don't leave, I'm going to take your vehicle.
If you listen to me, get in your car and leave. Listen.
All right, so he's telling him to leave. The other cops coming up telling him to leave. So they giving him commands. He's getting multiple chances to leave. So I don't know how you view that. As a lawful order, as a lawful directive, whatever. He's not following it. He's trying to figure out what's going on. They don't know who this guy is. So you got to take that in consideration. We know now, as Monday morning quarterback, we know he was a teammate of Tyreek Hill, but nobody knows who this guy is. The cops don't know. So they're treating it, the way they're treating it. You got to understand that.
Avoid this. Get in your car and leave.
Get in your car and leave. This guy said, I'm giving you an order. I'm giving you
one more time. Get in your car.
One more time. He's almost completely ignoring him. See what happens now.
And leave. One more time. I'm giving you an order to get out of here. Hey.
I'm giving you an order to get out of here. Did he pull the gun out? Wait, what the fuck just happened? Did he just pull his gun out? I think he pulled his gun out. Holy shit.
Hey, turn me down right here.
Wait, I can't see. I couldn't tell. Did he pull a gun out on him? No, I don't think so. Oh, maybe it was a taser. Can't really see. It looked like is that a taser or a gun? Now this is okay. So now, if anybody has a case of obsessiveness or like an extra, it might be the other player, which is kind of weird. Like we're saying, Tyreek Hill has complained about the way he was treated. Now maybe this guy might have a point. If that's a gun, I don't even know that. I can't really tell. So I'm not going to jump to conclusions here. It could be a gun. It could be a taser. The guy's walking away. They probably don't know where he's going. Who knows? I mean, like I said, in real time, he's not leaving. So that means he's trying to stay. Why is he trying to stay? What is he backing off? Where is he going to go do? Right? All these things are getting into the questions in the mind of the cop, probably. So let's see. So now they're like, okay, we're going to detain you because you didn't leave after we asked you like a million times to leave. And this guy's in the car too. So they detained him because he completely ignored the cops. So what we're seeing here, a theme that people are just ignoring law enforcement and the authority. And what authority does a cop have if civilians are ignoring their commands? The only thing they really have is to put you in handcuffs, right? It's not like that's what they have. Because if they can't exercise their authority and get you to listen to them, then what's the point of having the cops? If they can't really, it must suck. Like, especially now that there's body cams and all that, they can't really probably do what they want, which is good, of course, because they can't be crooks. more and more. But just look at this. Like, you got this 6'8" guy, 300 something pounds. Like, hey, I'm not gonna listen to you either. They're like, okay, let's just get this guy in cuffs just in case we don't know what he's gonna do. All right? And I said, put his hands behind his back. See, this is unnecessary too from the player standpoint. And I don't know if this guy was backing off because he was leaving, because I don't know what car is his. So it's kind of hard to really engage with this, but they did ask him numerous times to leave. You cannot deny that. You know, you could say this was a bit much, but you also got to acknowledge that they did ask him numerous times to leave. And we cannot ignore that part. I know, like I said, if you're anti-cop and you hate police, you're not gonna care. You're gonna like, so what? It doesn't matter. I get to do what I want. Free country, all this other bullshit you're gonna say. But you have to understand that there are laws. You have to, or at least you have to obey the commands of police on the scene. You have to do that. And if you don't, there are things that happen afterwards. As much as we like them or not, we may not like it. We may think it's BS. We may think it's not fair. It's stupid, right? There's millions of laws on the books that are dumb. But that's where you go and you vote. You vote legislators. You tell them, hey, we want these laws changed. We don't like these laws. We don't like that we can't do this. You use your voice. You go out and you change. You don't try to, change it from the scene. You can't do that on the scene of the crime or the scene of the situation. You got to take that up with your state legislators if you don't like these laws or these rules. Look, it's really tough, honestly. It really is. It really is. But I will say, though, that Tyreek Hill's full of shit. Like, all the people that get beat up, that was bullshit. I'm sorry. And it kind of sucks because making that up like that kind of, it's not cool to be lying like that. Then that one guy on the phone said, oh, they beating up Tyreek on the street. Like if he's like getting Rodney King or something. Like, come on, dude. Like, you can't just be lying like that. You just can't lie. You got to be honest. So let's watch the rest of this.
I told you, leave.
He said, I told you to leave. Right? He keeps telling, I told you to leave. That's what he's saying. I told you to leave.
Nope, too late.
You didn't want to listen. So they all, as you can see it, like I said, in this video, you're seeing the cops have been extremely patient. Like, how many orders is a cop supposed to give a person? Right? I've never seen cops give this many orders, this many chances, especially to, like, we want to talk about cops and interactions with black men, like Stephen A. just tried to claim. How many times did they give directives to both of these guys, Tyreek Hill and this dude? They gave countless and countless and countless. I would have not got that many chances. That doesn't happen every day. You don't get 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 chances to obey a command. Not even white. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's white people out there that would watch this or comment, or Hispanic or Asian would probably say the same thing. Like, we wouldn't even get those kind of chances, that many commands before we got detained or arrested. These guys like, you can see multiple officers saying, hey, we told you this, we tell you that, we tell you this. They're all just being extremely patient until they have to detain you. I don't know, like, where's the issues here? Like, why is this? I don't understand the outrage. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. Are we so conditioned to, like, automatically assume that the police are in the wrong just because the person involved is black? Right? I don't know. It's like they conditioned us to believe, like, oh my God, like, it's just another situation, another instance of being black in America and shit like that, where there are actual cases of that going on, and and many of those don't even get talked about because they're not famous. But then we get these famous guys who could easily avoid these situations and put their own selves in it, and then we jump out the window for this. We waste so much bandwidth on these guys. Well, we have actual real potential cases that may be going on in different cities and states that we probably should focus on, but instead we're focusing on this. These guys don't deserve the bandwidth of fighting police brutality. These guys don't deserve none of that phrase because they put themselves in this situation. They caused this. And this is no brutality. There's no brutality here at all. There's no brutality here at all.
Nope, too late. I told you.
I want to go to my car. Too late. That's the same thing Tyreek Hill said after he was getting detained. I'll go now. I'll go. And the other guy, remember the other guy that they was going to detain? And he said, I'll leave. This is all these guys, all three of them, kind of put themselves in their own situation. Multiple times. You heard him say, I'm telling you multiple times. You don't get multiple times the average Joe. I would even say the average white guy, the average Asian, Hispanic doesn't get multiple times. Right? So this is not a black issue. This is not a black man issue. This is not a black man being picked on by the cops.
I got you.
Move the car, sir, please. Please move the car.
The car has to hang out for a minute now. He's on there.
Yeah, you can't leave now. They take that. His name's called Drew. Yeah, that was the call.
Hey, what's the reference? Huh? What's the reference? Yeah, careless because he was speeding too fast.
Speeding too fast, careless, turned into all this. Absolutely ridiculous. So that's when he got detained. And even when Campbell was at the press conference, he was talking about how, I didn't know what was going on. I was seeing, like, dude, you got detained because you failed to listen to the cops. But how come these guys don't mention why they were detained? Go and watch the videos of the post game between Campbell and Hill. Neither of them mention the real reason why they ended up in handcuffs. They completely ignore that. Even the media and the Adam Schefters and the Ian Rappaports and all these people that were reporting on this, they failed to mention why these guys actually got in handcuffs. Longtime NFL vet from a distance clearly tries to speak calmly to the police while the police ask him to leave. And then we're dealing with Tyreek Hill. And suddenly the cop handcuffs him. No, they did not suddenly handcuff him. See how they try to lie in these titles? Suddenly the cop handcuffs him? No. Repeated commands to tell him to leave, get in the car, go, then he got handcuffed. But this is what they say. This is wild. Campbell did nothing wrong. You see how they just lie? You see how they just lie? And here's one. I'm just being black. That's it. I'm just being black in America in a nice car. Officer said, we're dark too, brother. We're people of color too. Don't play like that's special. Yeah, because some of those cops were Hispanic. They were brown. People of color, I guess that's what they're calling them now. But, yeah, because Tyreek's trying to play the race card, but that's not why you got pulled over. I mean, this is crazy, man. This thing is not. This thing is not. Robert Griffin III lying. The level of aggression and demeaning behavior was not necessary. Yeah, the level of aggression from Tyreek Hill wasn't necessary, honestly. And then head coach Mike McDaniel, who knew he had to say something, even though he didn't know what happened. Now, this was 11 hours ago. I guess this was the next day. Let's see what he says.
It's been hard for me not to find myself more upset the more I think about it.
He's so full of shit.
And that's because of, my teammates and trying to put myself in that emotion or in that situation that they've described emotionally.
See, he has to tread carefully here because he's the head coach, right? And the narrative is already set. So he has to defend his star player. He has to play this way. He can't really, because this is a head coach, a guy in leadership. It's no way a person who's in a leadership position can watch that clip and tell me that Tyreek Hill didn't initiate that response, didn't play a huge role. But to sit up there at a press conference and cry as a head coach and choke up about about Tyreek Hill acting like a complete jackass. Come on, man. Like, unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. This is bullshit, man. And he has to do this. That's the sad part about it. Like, he has to do this or he will lose his locker room. There's no way anybody in a position of leadership, head coach, anywhere can tell me that you watched that video of Tyreek Hill getting detained and that would be your response, to get emotional. No way. Sorry. If I was the owner, obviously the owner's not going to do anything, but this is BS.
And then knowing more than that, I think the thing that fucks me up, honestly, to be quite frank, is knowing that I don't know what that feels like.
Yeah, you don't know what that feels like because if you got pulled over, you wouldn't be a jackass to the cops. You wouldn't have done that, probably, because you're smart. Because you understand, hey, I get pulled over, even if I don't agree with it, I get my ticket and I go to court. I'm not going to say, I can do what I want or keep my window up and leave me alone, don't do this and shut up or whatever he was saying. You wouldn't have done that. So why not just say that? But he can't say that, of course. He can't say, I wouldn't act like Tyreek did it when I got pulled over. But to sit here now at a press conference, I don't know what it's like. I can't speak because I don't know. The thing that's fucked up is that I don't know how it is. Oh, come on. Come on, man. These people are so full of shit.
I think it's very, very important that that two things should be true. That I think you let due process work
you let due process work. Well, should have told Tyreek Hill that. Maybe you should tell Tyreek Hill, hey, let due process work. If he would have let due process work, guess what? He would have been out of there in 5 minutes.
Information to be gathered to appropriately project an opinion.
So he's talking about due process as allowing the information to get out first, or what happened. But not, what about due process of when you actually get pulled over? That due process should be initiated by anybody who gets pulled over. Let the process play out, Tyreek. Let them give you a ticket. You don't like it, we can go take it to court, get it squashed, whatever.
However, I can't get away from the fact of what I know their experience to be.
This guy's so full of shit.
You know, you're.
There's no way he's this fucking emotional over some shit. That off of that. Nothing happened. Are you fucking kidding me right now? This is your head coach? This is the Miami Dolphins head coach? No way. I'm not even going to watch the rest of this clip. I'm not even going to torture myself with this. Sorry, man. This is bullshit. He's full of it. He's either full of it or he's the softest guy. And look. You may say, look, I'm a bit over the top here with this. Okay? Full disclosure, it's the Miami Dolphins. I don't like the Miami Dolphins. So, do I have an agenda on how I'm reacting to this? Yes. But the bottom line is, besides the part about the way Tyreek Hill acted, because I think he's still acting like a dick at that traffic stop, and he initiated the response he got. So am I being a little extra on Mike McDaniel? Yeah, I am. So what? I'm not watching the rest of this though. So let's see now. These are all the insiders. They had their little Ian Rappaport, who 6 hours ago from game day, he says, talk about the body cam videos don't look good and this and that. So let's see Ian Rappaport's report. And these guys, him and Schefter, all these guys are like jumping out the window with their, oh my God, the typical, it's messed up what they did to the black man. Right? Let's watch this.
Yeah, there's been a lot of watching on videos online, which is where the Miami-Dade Police Department has now released 105 minutes of body cam footage from the officers involved in the Tyreek Hill incident. They are claiming full transparency, and of course we know they have launched an investigation. One officer involved that we know of has already been placed on administrative leave while they try to figure out exactly what happened. They released the body cam videos earlier than they usually do, again, in the with an eye on transparency. And we've seen a lot of them, and frankly, they're upsetting and disturbing, and none of it is good. Among the things that you see in the video, you see an officer physically grab Tyreek Hill. First, yell for him to get out of the car. He's not sure why. He says, "Why are you banging on my window?" They pull the car door open.
Wait. He's not sure why? Wait a minute. He just lied. He said, tell him to get out of the car, not sure why. Are you kidding me right now, dude? He just skipped over the whole part where the cop, where he initially came, and he wasn't banging on the window. That's another lie. He tapped on his window initially, right? This on video. And he says this video is out there. He's still lying. This is crazy how, even with the video, these people are still trying to spin this. He was not banging on the window. He tapped on his window to get his attention initially because typically he rolled up to do the traffic stop and Tyreek had his window up, tinted windows. Like, dude, you should already have your window down with your hands visible. He has his window up. You can't see. So he taps on the window, rolls it down. Tyreek hands his ID and rolls it back up. And the cop says, hey, keep your window down. Keep your window down. How many times he said it? And then he hits on the window. Don't pull your window down. Tyreek, I do what I want. Don't tell me what that, blah, blah, blah. And then he jumps off. Oh, well, Ian Rappaport, he missed all that part. I didn't know about that. I didn't see that part of the video. I only watched after the part where the cop took him out the car and put him on the ground. And that wasn't even a slam. It was a typical takedown of someone who was being detained after failing to comply 100 million times. Come on, man. You guys are really making me defend the freaking police here. Okay? Come on. Now, the other guy, when Tyreek Hill didn't sit down when the cop was telling him to, that guy come out of nowhere. Like I said, that's a debatable situation there where, you could say that was a bit much, but it wasn't like brutality. It wasn't like, oh my God, I can't believe, like he didn't slam him. So what does Rappaport talk about? I saw all the videos and they're all bad. Well, if you're saying they're all bad, unless you're acknowledging Tyreek Hill's part of this, then I would agree with you. But it ain't all bad. Not on the police part, at least. Not on the police part. I don't know. Let's see the rest of this.
Physically grab him from the car, throw him to the ground.
Physically grab him from the car and throw him to the ground. Yo, come on, Rap. You gotta be kidding me right now. This is bull. Yo, I can't. I think they think we all dumb. Oh, man. Oh, my God.
Officers surround him very physically.
We keep saying the word physically. I mean, how else do you detain an individual? It is going to be physical when you being detained and you're not cooperating. I mean, that's typically how it goes. They don't arrest you with pom-poms or cushions. They'll say, "Oh, sir, wait here. We're gonna we gotta put your arm over here. If you could just lay there and don't, they don't. It's not gonna. Of course, it's gonna be physical. It's a detainment when you don't want to cooperate. They're removing you from the car. I mean, oh my God, these people are insane."
And hastily put him in handcuffs while he's trying to talk to his agent.
Yeah, they're supposed to just wait. You didn't follow our orders, but we will wait until you end your phone call. Then we will put you in handcuffs. Okay, Mr. Hill, whatever you say, sir. Like, come on. Like, he's trying to narrate this like Tyreek Hill was like on the phone with his agent in the car. There was no orders, no demands, and the cops just yanked him out the car. That's how he's trying to make it sound. Which is not true.
Drew Rosenhaus, there's a situation where he gets up and they tell him to sit down. He says, "Hold on, I'm going to sit. I just had surgery on my knee." They physically take him and push him.
He said he had surgery on his knee after the cop was getting ready to put him down. Like he was coming over to help the other cop sit him down. That's when he mentioned the surgery. But he was just already put down to the ground in the car, to the ground. So if you just had surgery, wouldn't that be more of a reason why you would not want to be cuffed? Like, think about it. If I just had surgery, the last thing I'm thinking about is, I'm going to be so combative to the point where I need to be detained. I just had surgery, right? Think about that. You just had surgery, right? This is what he's claiming as his defense. I just had surgery, so don't touch me. And it's so funny because I've heard that line before from a woman outside of my where I used to live in New York, in the Bronx. And this lady, her kid was being arrested by the NYPD. NYPD cops rolled up. The kid he was being arrested. They was already following the kid. He did something down the street. They followed him. They detained him. And he was with his mom. And the cops put him on the car. They were searching him, found knives and all kind of shit. They put him in the car. And the mother was trying to resist, trying to break the kid off out of the NYPD car, like banging on the door, doing all kind of shit. And the cops get out to go handle her now, to put her in cuffs because she's being disruptive. And she's like, I just had surgery. Don't touch me. And then, so I've heard that surgery line before. I'm not saying, obviously, Tyreek Hill, he had surgery, but I'm just saying, if you just had surgery, the last thing you should be thinking about is getting to any type of situation where you could be detained or have any type of physical detainment. Like, I'm not trying to get cuffed. I'm not trying to have cuffs on. I'm not trying to do anything extra. Meaning that if I get pulled over, I'm going to be cooperative. So you wasn't worried about surgery when you were being a dick. You waited until now the cop want to help you sit down. Oh, I just had surgery. I got to, And the cop was like, yeah, really? Dude, you just throw your ass to the ground over there. We just put you, detain you down there. You didn't say shit then. Right? So they're probably not even buying it if they even care. Like, come on. So Ian Rappaport is like, he's telling a visual story here about the details of what happened.
On my knee, they physically take him and push him down.
They physically take him, push. He uses that physically word a lot. They must pay him by the minute. Pay him by the amount of times he says physically.
To the ground. There are threats. There are taunts. At one point, an officer tells him to stop crying. They yell at him for being confused. It's not good.
They yell at him for being confused. So it's not good, but apparently, so Ian Rappaport, out of all that shit, Tyreek Hill did nothing wrong. That's how it sounds. If you took that, if you only heard Ian Rappaport's part of his narration of the videos, you would think that Tyreek Hill was just some innocent bystander just sitting in his car, minding his business, and the cops just rolled up and yanked him out, threw him on the ground. There was nothing that led up to it, and they just beat him up, according to the guy on the phone. That's how he's making it sound like. And he's doing that on purpose because he's NFL state media, and he's a white guy, so he has to try to play to the, I'm sensitive to the feelings of the African American men, and I got him and Adam Schefter are like having a race to who's the wokest and shit. But this is crazy. This is crazy.
Calais Campbell, all-around good human and former Walter Payton Man of the Year Award winner, walks up to the officers, asks questions, trying to de-escalate.
Great guy, but he doesn't follow any instructions. Walks up to the officers on a scene that's already hectic. Probably not the best thing to do, especially when you're 6'9", 6'8", 300 pounds, and they don't know who the hell you are. Like, you can't assume that just because it's Miami that they know all the players. They might not even know who this guy was. Let's just be honest. Like, they just know this big guy come up. There was already another guy on the other side rolling up on the cops that pulled over to the side. There's all these people showing up. Why hasn't Ian Rappaport explained that? Because that makes a big deal. That tells a story. Think about that. You got all these people running up, adrenaline's high. You just finished detaining Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, he's being uncooperative, and you got people rolling up on the scene, and there's a lot going on there. But he's not explaining that. He's trying to give you a visual like, oh, just, a teammate came and wanted to de-escalate it, and then the cops put him in cuffs. No, that's not exactly what happened. He came up to the cop. He was talking. The police told him to back off, go back. They don't know who you are. They don't know what's going on. We got it under control. We're trying to handle the scene that's already up and hostile because there's another guy on the other side that's running up on us. We're trying to de-escalate. That's not a de-escalation. You're actually escalating by showing up, by rolling up on the police. That's not a de-escalation. I don't know why would anyone think that? And when you don't follow commands of the officer, you are de-escalating the situation. Go back in your car. Get in the car. Drive off. Go away. Joe. No, I'm just going to sit here and find out what's going on. All right, we're going to cuff you too. So you de-escalate. That's not a de-escalation. That's an escalation in the eyes of the law enforcement. But Ian Rappaport won't tell you that. He's going to no, they de-escalated. He's a good guy, Walter Payton Award. That means jack shit. What the hell does that got to do with what happened on the scene? Did the cops know? Oh, that's the Walter Payton Award guy right there. Let's let him run up on us. Maybe he might do something good. No, it doesn't work that way. That's not how it works in the real world, people. Who cares if the guy Walter Payton Award in 2019? This is 2024. Nobody gives a fuck about a Walter Payton Award. How is that relevant to the situation? Not on the scene, not at the time. Was the police supposed to say, assume, oh, that's the Walter Payton guy, so award guy. Let him come over here and see if he could talk us down or talk Tyreek down. No, they didn't ask for a negotiator. They didn't ask for a therapist. If you really care about Tyreek Hill, maybe you should have more of a better influence on him so he wouldn't act like a dick when he gets pulled over. Obviously, the good guy didn't rub off on Tyreek Hill when he was so uncooperative to police, even though he wants to be a cop. I love cops. I got a trooper hat in my house. I respect cops. Well, obviously you don't. You don't. So Walter, like they just trying to paint the narrative like this innocent guys that just got beat on by the cops and abused. Walter Payton Award guy. Come on, man. I don't care if the guy had a Purple Heart. If you come on the scene and you're disrupting stuff, the cops supposed to know that? He could have, Calais Campbell could have just finished saving a baby down the street. No one knows that. Okay? They don't know that at the time. Come on, man. Like we gotta use our brains here, people. Don't let this emotionally get you trapped into believing that like this is some innocent bystanders getting picked on.
Grab him, put him in handcuffs, tell him he's under arrest, even though he's just trying to make it all better.
They don't know what he was trying to do. He Monday morning quarterback. Oh, he just make it all better. Make what better? That's not his job to. So people can roll up on scenes now to interfere in police scenes and say, I'm here to make things better. No, that's not how it works in the real world. Oh my God. And this is why people get in trouble, because you get these people who get on camera, they get on TV, and they try to explain why they're doing this, why they should be allowed to do that. And then people think that they can do this. So then they go and try it, and then they end up in cuffs. Because they believe that this should be allowed. Look, are some of the rules, policies dumb? Probably. But that doesn't mean we get to ignore it. So this is Caitlin Collins from CNN did an interview with Tyreek Hill. So he immediately went to CNN. That was his interview. So that should tell you everything you need to know about the narrative that they're trying to push here. He didn't go to like a normal or like an unbiased network. Straight to CNN. Because they're going to push the race card. All right, let's see what they say. Let's watch. Here we go.
Tell me what was going through your mind in those moments.
Man, for real, I was shocked, man. Like it's crazy because it all happened so fast, man. But
so he said he was shocked. You was shocked that he got pulled over for speeding? So is he saying he was shocked because he thought, well, I'm Tyreek Hill, so I should just be let go, nothing should happen, and I get to do what I want, I get to disobey police commands, and nothing will happen? What part, when were you shocked? Were you shocked at that part? Were you shocked that you completely just told the cops to F off, pretty much, when you rolled back out the window? Well, at what part were you shocked? Let's see if she asks him that. Being uncooperative, was shocked that I was so uncooperative that I ended up in handcuffs. I'm shocked that happened because I'm a celebrity. I'm a privileged athlete that should be allowed to do what I want, when I want, put drivers in danger by speeding down 100 plus miles per hour on game day. And because I'm a star athlete for the city, I'm shocked that I was held accountable. Maybe that's what he's talking about.
Like for me, man, like it just all happened so fast and I really couldn't like gather everything that was happening. So
I couldn't gather everything that was happening. Well, you caused everything that happened. If you'd have just gave your information, kept your window down, like the cops asked you, you would have been on your way in 5 minutes. It would have been a blip. So I'm not understanding where he's going with this.
It was crazy, you know, and me being a father, me being a husband and all that, man, I was just putting myself in that situation like, hey, I got to be smart.
I got to be smart, but you wasn't being smart.
You know what I'm saying? That's where I wasn't on that kind of energy. Like, I was chilling. Like,
I wasn't on that kind of energy. I was chilling. Camera video says otherwise, Tyreek. You wasn't on that kind of energy. You were on that energy from the start. From the minute the cop rolled up on you, tapped on your window to get your attention, to roll the window down, you were on that energy. All right? You said, don't tap on my window, don't tap on my window, when the cops are trying to give you commands and explain what's going on. You were completely ignoring everything he was saying and just kept saying, don't tap on my window. Yes, you were on that energy. That is not a normal reaction for someone who's getting pulled over that wants to be cooperative and is a father or not on that energy. You were on that energy.
I was following rules.
I was following rules? No, you were not. That's why you ended up getting detained. And if this person, Caitlin Collins, had any journalistic integrity, she would have pushed back here. But of course she's not going to do that, right? Right? Is she going to do that? Let's find out. I'm not going to assume. Let's see if she pushes back. Maybe she will push back. Maybe she'll say, well, you did not follow all the rules. You didn't obey the commands. Let's see if she says that. Maybe. I don't want to, assume.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't moving fast because, I got injured.
Oh, I wasn't moving fast, so he completely skipped off the part where he was being a dick and went right to the part where he got put to the ground. Okay, so now I know what's going on here. This is definitely not an accountability interview. This is him putting the blame on the Miami police.
You feel me? I got things that I go through. I play a physical sport.
So now you're going to play the football card. This is lawyer talk, folks. This is what you call, after he talked to his lawyers, representatives, they might even try to sue Miami police or the city, whatever. The lawyers told him, and that guy might be his lawyer. Hey, this is what you got to say. This is how you say it. We're going to have to spin this and turn this into our favor so we, whatever. So you don't have to be accountable. This is a guy who's not wanting to take accountability. So he's going to try to spin this. That's what he's doing. He wants to spin it. This is the wrong move. The lawyer definitely told him what to say. Or the team or whoever it was.
I've been doing this for a moment now, man. So I'm dealing with some stuff. So
I'm dealing with some stuff. I got this. So this is more of a reason why you should have been cooperative. So you wouldn't have had to get out the car. Don't you know if he was cooperative, he would have never had to get out of his car? He would have never had to get out the car. There's a good chance they would have ran it, because considering that they just gave him 2 citations and sent him on his way after all of that, he would have probably had to stay in the car, window down, hands where they could see him, like on the steering wheel, and he would have went on his way in 5 minutes. I got surgeries. I play a physical sport. It's the NFL. I'm hurt. Then why the hell are you being disruptive and uncooperative?
I guess the officers, they felt like I wasn't doing it on their timing. But
doing on their timing, like when they ask you to get out the car or when they ask you to obey commands. numerous times. How many times do they need to give you? Did they need to give you an hour? Did they need to give you half an hour? Should you get 10 minutes? Like, how many times do you think you should get? I don't know.
But I was doing it, but you know, man, I'm still kind of shell shocked from it, man. Like I'm embarrassed, you know. But
yeah, you should be embarrassed. You caused it. He's not taking no responsibility. None of it is his fault. Not nada. It's all the police fault. I didn't move quick enough. The cops didn't like me. I'm black.
Well, and when you watch it,
here we are.
can you tell us what happened with the moment with you didn't see it?
Can you tell us what happened? We saw it. What happened? Oh my God, this lady is a real journalist or one of those like hosts that just is like biased.
There in the video, but you're in the car. They're yelling at you to roll your window down. What was happening there?
Okay, this is a decent question. Let's see where we go. Let's see what he's gonna say here.
You know what? When the officer came up and knocked on my window, I let my window down, cooperated.
You are a liar. Liar, pants on fire. You did not cooperate. You have cooperated. You partially cooperated while being combative. And the officer was still trying to give you more commands. And you rolled the window right back up. Let's see if he says that.
Gave him my ID, and then I immediately let up my window.
Okay.
And then after that, I let back up my window, and then he came back to the window and was like, "Let your window down now. Let your window down now."
He didn't. He came. He was still at the door. You let it up in his face, and he was telling you not to roll the window up. He hadn't even walked away. Why would you let the window up as tenant? He needs to see you. You got to see who you are.
And then I let it down.
But he's not telling the part where he's telling the cop, don't. Well, how he was talking to the cop, don't hit my window. No, do this, that. I can do what I want. Don't tell me anything. Right? He's not saying none of that part. He's not saying how he was being confrontational with the police. He's not saying that. He's completely glossing over that.
That's when he said, "If you don't let your window down, I'm going to snatch you out the car." I was like, "Sir, my window is down. Like, what do you want?" I'm not trying to cause a scene because, if I let my window down, like people walking by, driving by, they're going to notice that it's me, and they're going to start taking pictures. And I didn't want to create a scene at all.
Oh, please, dude. You have tinted windows. You don't want your picture taken. You shouldn't be speeding down the highway. Come on, man. This guy is trying to spin his own shit. If you were so worried about all that, you would have cooperated. 5 minutes. You'd have been gone. Are you kidding me? Yeah, people are going to start noticing when they see all these cops around in the car because you not being cooperative. You made the scene. You created the scene to where people have to look and, oh, what's going on? I see people. Even when they pulled you out the car, there were people that walked by. They didn't really notice you. They weren't paying attention, even though they had Miami gear on, Dolphins gear. You the one that made the scene. He's just lying now. He's just making stuff up because he had like a day and a half to talk to his lawyers or his team representative, whoever that guy is. Whoever that guy is right there, that guy is like there to make sure Tyreek sticks to the script. He's like, make sure he doesn't waver off. And he's looking at the paper like, is he saying exactly what he's saying? You know?
I just really wanted to get the ticket and then just go on about my way.
He just wanted to get the ticket and go about his way. If that was true, that would have happened. Clearly it was not. Another lie. How many lies he told already in this 2 minutes? A lot.
And then just have a great Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Because really, like, I really could have just kept going to the stadium, but I really just pulled to the side.
Oh, now he's saying he can just keep going. So he's admitting that he's so privileged that he could have just kept going and not even stop. Are you kidding me right now? This guy is saying that he really could have just kept going and said, fuck the cops. Fuck the pullover. I'm just going to go to the stadium. And not even, so his mindset is already to not obey law enforcement, which explains why he acted the way he did when the cop came up to him and was giving him orders. He has this mindset of privilege. But all you guys online are playing oh my God, this dude they're doing to the black man. No, this guy is abusing his celebrity. He just admitted pretty much, I could have just ignored him if I wanted to. I'm Tyreek Hill. And I got a fast car. Unbelievable.
Just chilling. Because I was that close to the stadium. Like, I was that close to, like, our entry level I was that close to the players' entry level. And then from that moment, the guy came from the back. He was like, hey, get out. He was like, hey, I'm about to snatch you out the car or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then it just all unfolded from there. Because I was going to get out my car. You know what I'm saying? Because they told me to get out.
He took his time. They told you like a million times to get out the car, dude. I was going to get out. Yeah, on your timeline, because I'm a privileged athlete and I can do what I want on my timeline. This is when the cops was, at this point, remember the cops in the video was saying, you don't get out when you want, you get out when we tell you. That's what they were yelling at him about, because they were telling him, we giving you a order, a command, a direct order, a lawful order to get out of your car after numerous times of you not cooperating. So he's on his own timetable. He feels like I get to move at my pace. I get to ignore when I want to ignore and follow when I want to follow. I'll get to it when I feel like it. That's not how it works at a traffic stop. That's not how it works when you get interactions with the police. And this is why people have these opinions about black people. And like when we get pulled over, have these interactions, because they say, "Whoa, you guys just feel like you can do whatever you want." And he's admitting on camera, pretty much on live TV, that he can make his own decisions on how to obey commands or when to not stop for police. And remember, he has kids that follow him. He has young athletes, 15, 16, 17 years old, 14 years old, guys who may be old enough to drive, are following this guy, looking up to this guy. And if they hear him say, yeah, I could have just kept going to the stadium and not listen, or I don't have to listen, and they hear that video, guess what they're going to do when they get pulled over? They're going to respond the same way. This is why this is serious. And for him to pretend that he's like, I'm just some innocent guy here, and while admitting that he could have done what he wanted, that ain't cool, man. That's not cool. That ain't cool at all. I don't care if you are for the cops or against the cops. If you think cops abuse their authority, yeah, I believe they at times, especially when the COVID shit happened, yeah, they will abuse their authority when the government tells them to go for it. But at the same time, we have to acknowledge that you can't just you're putting other people in danger by acting the way you act, because everybody can't be you. Everybody can't get this response. Everybody won't be able to pull this off, be on the phone and do all that and yell and say no and keep their windows up and down and do all. Everybody can't do that. So if they try to do that, they end up getting tasered, or the wrong city, wrong cop, wrong whatever. So this is not good that he's just on here saying this stuff and trying to justify why he was allowed. I'm shocked. Oh, come on. I'm shocked. You shocked at something? Yeah, you should be shocked that you took a situation that should have lasted 2 to 5 minutes and you turned it into a big thing because you wanted to be an entitled athlete. And now you're trying to play the race angle.
I was getting out my car, but the way that my car made is like a dip inside of McLaren
Yeah.
720S.
Well,
So
it happens so quickly. I mean, it's like right after they direct you to open the door. It's like,
Dude, he was telling them no. Are we not watching the same video? He was telling them no. Oh my God. Are you really going to sit here, Caitlin Collins, and BS us here and the viewers at home? The reason why they got on him because he was telling them no, he wouldn't do it. He doesn't want to do it. This is what it's... Oh my God. Okay. Let's keep going.
seconds later when you open it and then you're pulled from the car. And I saw that you said if you weren't Tyreek Hill, that you feared this could have ended a lot differently. What do you think could have happened?
yeah, like, so the crazy part about it is I hate talking like this, man, but because I have a kid fan base. But the reality of it is, it's the truth.
You got a kid fan base, but you acted like a complete dick when you got pulled over. What do you think those kids are seeing when they see this video? When they're watching you act like that? What do you think they're thinking? That they can do the same thing. So I don't understand. He's saying all the right stuff, right? Right now. He's not even saying all the right stuff. He's not acknowledging any of the part that he played in this, at least at this point. 3 minutes in. Maybe he will in the next 4 minutes. But he is lying about what happened, even though this video that shows otherwise. And she's not pushing back at all. Which we shouldn't be shocked. We shouldn't be. But to sit there and say, I can't believe this. I'm shocked and it's not my fault. I have a kid fan base, and if I wasn't Tyreek Hill, he wasn't Tyreek Hill, you'd be arrested for, resisting and not cooperating and disobeying, all type of stuff. Because you're a privileged athlete. That's why they didn't arrest you. Oh shit. I just clipped over it. Let's go back to
He was like, "Hey, get out!" He was. That's worst case scenario.
Association.
And my family had to go through Park Stadium. Truth. If I wasn't Tyreek Hill, worst case scenario, we would have had a different article. Tyreek Hill.
CNN waiting for that punchline.
Got shot in front of Hard Rock Stadium. Or that's worst case scenario. Or Tyreek Hill, put in handcuffs and taken in and booked. But.
Yeah, you should have been booked. You should have been arrested. Sorry. How did he get away with that? Because you're a privileged athlete. Nobody's trying to spin it. Like, I'll be treated this way because I'm a black man. No, you got privileged, dude.
It's crazy that, me and my family had to go through this, so.
He's not taking no responsibility. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable.
Yeah. Julius, we heard from the president of the South Florida Police Benevolent Association, basically the union that represents them. And they said, and I'm quoting him, they claimed that your client was not immediately cooperative with the officers on the scene who, pursuant to policy and for their immediate safety, placed him in handcuffs. They said he was uncooperative, refused to sit on the ground, and was redirected to the ground. And that once it was sorted out within a few minutes, he was issued 2 traffic citations and was free to leave. I mean, when you look at the video, is that how you would describe what happened?
That's exactly what happened on the video. What are you talking about? You look at the video. That's exactly what happened. If you listen to the interaction from the beginning, when the cop first shows up to the car, he was not cooperative. You can't tell me he was cooperative at any point. The only time he was cooperative immediately was when the cop knocked on the window. As soon as Tyreek puts the window down, he hands him the ID and starts yapping off about not hitting the window, not touching his window. That was the only part. Everything else started off with chirping and agitating the police officers, antagonizing the cops. That cop. That's what he was doing. Now you can sit there and say, "Oh, he's allowed to do that. He can do whatever he wants. It's a free country. You can antagonize the police if you want." But is it smart? That's the thing. Like, should you do that? Is it smart to don't hit my window? Don't hit my window. Like, is it really smart to do that? You didn't have your window down. You got pulled over. It should have been second nature. Hey, I'm getting pulled over. Let me roll my window down. You know you're being pulled over by the cops. But then he sat there and said, "Oh, I could have just kept going and flew to the player entrance and got out of there." So he's talking about evading. I'm speeding over 100 miles per hour where I can kill somebody. Then he's talking about evading law enforcement. Well, we're just going to glance over that? No pushback, Caitlin Collins? The man just admitted that I could have just flew by and ignored police. Despite I'm going 120. Unbelievable. Zero accountability. And this is the type of people that they put in front of our communities to look up to the kids. This is why it's important to have parents in the home, man. Because fathers especially, because fathers can redirect this bullshit. Hey, man, yeah, he's good on the field. He's great. But after that, don't look up to anything he does off the field. Ignore that. Right? But you can't get that because if it's only... I don't even want to get into the extras on that. Let's play the rest of this.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Of course, Mr. Lawyer, he's gonna. Lawyers are good at spending shit. You gotta remember this, guys. The lawyer's job, they could spend anything, right? They could spend a ham sandwich and make it and tell you it's a turkey sandwich. Okay, so I won't be shocked by what he says here.
From what we know, they sent us a zip file with us about 5 or 6 body cam videos. The officer who we believe is now possibly on leave, that's the officer that you saw snatching Tyreek out of the vehicle, right? That was the most aggressive person. The person that Tyreek spoke with, who originally came to the car, he wasn't aggressive by any means. It was the other guy that came in that got super aggressive with Tyreek about the window. I think he even said, "We'll break this freaking glass if we need to." And then he just snatches him out of the car. I want to say it looked like he opened up the door for Tyreek. And another portion is Tyreek actually put on his seatbelt. It's another body cam showing Tyreek putting on his seatbelt. So along with that, he's calling Miami Dolphin security to let him know what's going on.
So why is he putting on his seatbelt? He's getting ready to drive off? That sounds like to me that he's ready to drive off. Putting on his seatbelt to flee the scene, potentially? I don't know. But you notice he's not mentioning anything that Tyreek has done. It's always, all the cops did this, all the cops did that. They all did everything. It's all their fault. Even though the video says otherwise. And look, it's unfortunate because they're going to detail on these points where that one cop was a bit extra at points in time after being probably fed up with the constant uncooperativeness from Tyreek. Because is he going to mention how uncooperative your client was throughout that whole interaction? He won't.
So that's the delay, that immediate portion that they're talking about. He's taking off his seatbelt.
Oh, taking off the
Drew
seatbelt.
Brooks on the phone from the Miami Dolphins. And then you see him getting snatched out of a car. Like he says, he's driving a McLaren. It's a dip in it. And he just had some repairs done on his knee. He can't jump out immediately. If you saw, also, he put up his hands to show that he didn't have a firearm. He wasn't a threat.
Dude, if he would have got out the car or even said, "Hey, I'm getting out," instead of, he told the cops no. Why are they missing this point? He was telling them no at first. Why they keep missing that?
And that he was complying with officers. I mean, you know, as far as the statement goes, though, from the police union, I think the video contradicts everything that they're saying, even down to the notion that he refused to sit down. He actually told the guy, hold on, I'm going to sit. I just had surgery. And that's when that same officer who snatched him out of the car, that threw him down to the ground, that placed his knee in his back, then grabs him in like some kind of chokehold and drags him down to the ground.
That wasn't a chokehold. That wasn't a chokehold. See how he just lied again? That was not a chokehold. That's why he said some kind of chokehold. Because if it was a direct chokehold, he would have said chokehold. But he knows, he's a legal guy, so he understands words. Some kind of a chokehold, trying to, water it down to, but he mentioned chokehold, so that's what everyone's going to hear. It wasn't a chokehold.
The video even goes further where you see him put his hand on Tyreek's throat. So that's what the police union didn't state in their statement.
Yeah.
So,
but you're not stating how uncooperative Tyreek was. So you want to call out deception? Maybe there was a bit of a deception on the police union not giving exact detail for detail in their statement, because the video does, I guess they were giving a paraphrase of what happened. But you're not even acknowledging Tyreek Hill's part of this. Watching this, it just sounds like, hey, Tyreek was just in his car, minding his business. The cops just came in and said, get out the car. Boom. Not acknowledging that Tyreek told the cop, no, he wasn't getting out. No, I'm not getting out. Listen to the video. Listen to the video, and you can hear how many times the police was giving Tyreek commands. The same command over and over and over and over. How many times? You can hear it in the video. And you can hear Tyreek tell him a bunch of times, no. I'm just trying to figure out here. Is the lawyer, the lawyer obviously doing his job. Good job, lawyer. But let's not play like Tyreek didn't play a role here. And no pushback from this bitch. No pushback at all. And I know she heard the same video we all heard. I expect the lawyer not to acknowledge any wrongdoing. I expect Tyreek not to be held himself accountable. But you supposed to be unbiased. You supposed to be get to the truth, or at least bring it to the center and allow the audience to make their own determination.
the video contradicts it.
And I should note that they said that they released the video to keep the public informed, that one of the officers involved was placed on administrative duty as all this is being investigated. Tyreek, just before you go, you just tweeted a moment ago, you said, let's make a change. What did you mean by that?
Right. So, I'm a good old country boy from South Georgia, man. Like, I'm not a big believer in dividing people. You know, I don't believe in all that, man. I believe in bringing people together, because that's my purpose in life. I do football camps all across the world, man, trying to bring different people together, different kids, different parents, you know, because we in this together, baby. Like, we on this earth together. We got to live together. So when I say let's make a change, let's do it together. So Miami PD, really all officers across the world, man, because one officer doesn't, you know what I'm saying, like, make the whole group look bad. Like, everybody has bad apples, you know what I'm saying? Every team has bad apples. It's my job to use my platform and my resources, so that way I'm able to align, you know, with, you know, these, you know, different stations. So that's what I mean when I say let's make a change, like, because we done tried it all. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so he's speaking all this, let's make a change, let's be positive, but he hasn't taken any accountability on the part he played. Right? No accountability. Look, I don't expect him to admit that he's speeding because he got a ticket for that. That's a legal case, and I don't expect him to get on TV and say, yeah, you know, I was speeding and I'm wrong for that. I'm not expecting him to say that. That would be completely, I wouldn't do that if I was speeding. I wouldn't admit that openly. I would go to court and try to, fight it. But he should admit accountability for the way he acted towards the police. If he claims to respect cops, he claims to bad apples and all this other stuff he's talking about. But he's not taking any accountability. He just like everybody else's fault but his. And he's going to use his platform to bring people together. That's what he's saying.
We done protest. We even took a knee. We done did walks. Like, so what's next? So right now, me and my wife, we right now brainstorming on how can we be a part of this change?
You should brainstorm on how to cooperate when getting pulled over and not act like a dick. Maybe your wife can give you tips on that, because that's what you should be focusing on. It sucks that all these people are going to be so dishonest about this, and they're going to egg this on, and we're going to waste energy on this. This is not a real situation. This is a fabricated event that is his fault. 80%. I go 80-20. 20 is that that little the officer, the one that got a little extra. But I still don't think it was extra like brutality extra. Like, oh my God, we got to stomp the streets. This is a guy who thought he didn't have to follow any rules, who didn't have to follow any commands. And he should take responsibility for that. He won't. If he cares about the kids, he would, but he won't.
So it's important to us, because we want to be able to change lives all the way across the world, not just Miami. It's important to us.
Well, it back.
Yeah, he's full of it. He's full of it. So let's look at the comments. Let's look at the comments here. So Jennifer Friedman said, Friedman's a truth teller from Australia, U.S. citizen. She says, oh shit, fucking head's throbbing. She says, imagine if the window rolled down and it was Tom Brady to ask for his autograph and send him on his way. Well, Tom Brady wouldn't be speeding on 100 and something miles per hour on a road like that on game day. So, sorry to break it to you, Jennifer. It would not be Tom Brady, because Tom Brady's not dumb. JV said, this N-word is lying. He disrespected the hell out of those cops and rolled the window up in their faces. Accurate. That's exactly what he did. Similar happened to Scotty Scheffler. It's a cop problem. No, I don't think Scotty Scheffler rolled up, disrespected the police. Not to the point to get thrown on the ground. It was not similar. Franklin said, a reminder that Trump will give these cops immunity. Yeah, he did say that. Rainmaker said, I can't get out of the car quickly because of my knee. 30 minutes later, catches an 80-yard lightning fast touchdown. Right. Come on, man. Get out of here. Like, you got to be kidding me right now. That line would have worked if he was inactive. The dude went out and it was outrunning fucking 6'8" guys that are 6'4", 6'5", 6'3", 6'2" guys that could run sub 4, sub 5, 4.5 40s. He's the fastest guy in the NFL. He can't get out the car? Bullshit. Robo Ben said, pathetic, disrespectful, entitled NFL player recklessly speeding on Florida highway at 100 plus miles per hour. Won't follow basic instructions. Domestic violence is also illegal. Bokum Dana. I mean, domestic violence that's not relevant to this case. So, but the other stuff he said is accurate. Sean says, "Stupid move to win your tinted window up while the cops talking to you." Exactly. Police are fucking talking to the guys like, but I obeyed everything and I was respectful. I respect cops. Anyone who ever lost a loved one due to someone being an asshole in a car on a public highway will have exactly zero sympathy for this. A case study in what not to do when you grow up. Actions, consequences. Get back your degree. You are no journalist. Couldn't have said it better. Yeah, Caitlin Collins is way like, what the hell kind of interview was that? That was like a softball that she just threw, that she laid it up for him. Drive recklessly, disobey cops, resist arrest, have entire media help you pretend you're a victim. Black privilege is real. That's what Mr. Reality said. And this is the shit that I hate, because this is not black privilege. This is athlete privilege, okay? Let's just make that clear, because not every black person can get away with that, okay? This is an athlete. This is a pro athlete privilege to the core. Jason Whitlock chimed in. Collins is the typical liberal bigot. Her expectations are so low for black men that she won't call BS on Hill's bogus explanation. White or black man in a MAGA hat, and she will have completely different energy. Yeah, I mean, Caitlin Collins completely botched that interview. Like, it was like a layup. There's no way that she did not, why would she go like, oh my God, like, there's no way you could have been wrong here. No pushback, no nothing. It just pretty much took everything that they said. Even though the video shows, the other lawyer said, well, the video contradicts what the statement is. Actually, it does not. What the statement does, the police statement gave a summary in a short statement, because they're not telling the story. They're not giving you play-by-play of a 105-minute video. It's a statement. They're giving you basically the cliff notes of what happened, how it started, how it escalated, and what they did. How they responded. And pretty much let you know that, hey, Tyreek Hill caused his own demise. And at the end, even after all that, they let him off. Bradley says Tyreek should have complied. Now he's just a what? I don't know that. Bustum. When you run a red light and cameras capture you, they send you a ticket in the mail with the quickness. These types of infractions should be handled the exact same way. They're looking for confrontations. They should not be handled the same way, dude. Now, if you're going 100 miles per hour and you can kill somebody, hell no. You think the cops should just let you go? That's stupid. What a dumb thing to say. Shell shot because he's non-compliant idiot. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, so pretty much everybody is saying that, Tyreek Hill's full of shit. Everyone's calling him out, as they should. That's the bottom line. What a crappy interview that was. I mean, Caitlin Collins should be ashamed of yourself, but it's CNN, so what do we... Anchor of the source. What source? Source of lies? That's what you are, just a liar. She just lied. Like, she didn't hold him accountable at all. But anyway, that's it for this video. We've been here almost over 2 hours doing this. And that's all I got. Look, the bottom line is, Cheetah, you got to take some responsibility, man. I wish you would, too, because you got teenage kids, young adults that are out there that are probably looking up to you, which I really don't know. My kid would not be looking up to him, but there are kids out there that are, and you just can't do that, man. You can't act like that. You can't act like that. Take some responsibility. Get rid of your lawyer. Come out, put out a statement saying, hey, look, take responsibility. I want to bridge the gap. I want to, if you really care about bridging this gap, that's what you'll do. Just for the kid, and do it for the kids. If you're not going to do it for yourself, do it for the kids. Do it for the kids. Because some kid's going to get hurt following your lead. And it's going to suck. But that's all I got. GridironSteady. We're out of here.